Should a Muslim reject the theory of evolution? To answer this, we should answer the question: what should a Muslim reject on religious grounds? All denominations within Islam unanimous affirm the authority of the Quran on religion. Every fundamental tenet of faith must have a basis in the Quran. Fundamental tenets such as existence and almightiness of God, the prophecy of Muhammad, and the life in the hereafter are all based on verses in the Quran. So, anything contradicting the Quran should be rejected by Muslims on religious grounds. The criterion of contradiction is also important. The verse of the Quran in potential conflict with the claim should be considered in all of its plausible but not strained or exaggerated interpretations. And the claim should contradict all such interpretations. If the claim contradicts a certain interpretation but not another, we cannot claim that it conflicts with the Quran. Since a non-contradicting interpretation may be correct, it may not be in conflict. This is the criterion we should apply to answer the question: should a Muslim reject the theory of evolution? There is not even one Quranic verse contradicting the theory of evolution, and there is also no mutawatir, reliable hadith in this issue. The few related narrations are khabar al-wahid at best, and no religious stance can be chosen based on them. Therefore, the content of the Quran would suffice to determine whether or not the theory of evolution conflicts with Islamic beliefs. On the other hand, we must note that many false claims do not contradict the Quran. The correctness of a claim and whether or not it contradicts the Quran are entirely two different matters. Although this appears to be a simple distinction, I have experienced that many of the logical mistakes and confusion during debates about evolution and Islam stem from lack of understanding of this point. I often start my speech: I am of the opinion that the theory of evolution has no element in conflict with Islamic belief. Yet, I have many times received responses such as, but the Cambrian explosion falsifies evolution, even though my claim was not about the correctness of the theory of evolution. Rather, I advocate that accepting the theory of evolution is not to oppose Islam and leave the discussions about the truth of evolution to biology and philosophy of biology. For this reason, my claim is totally unrelated to objections raised against evolution itself. Furthermore, when I say there is no verse in the Quran in conflict with the theory of evolution, I do not mean the Quran reveals evolution. Yet, these two statements are also often mixed up. My claims are about the impossibility of discrediting evolution in the name of Islam. I do not go so far as to claim that a Muslim must believe in evolution as a requirement of his religion. Despite my meticulousness in distinguishing these matters, on numerous occasions I have witnessed related misunderstandings. In my opinion, strong prejudices on such sensitive issues inspire these confusions. It would be beneficial here to exemplify my point that many false claims do not conflict with the Quran. I will give two examples, one historic and the other scientific. While the Quran affirms the existence of Mary, it includes no information or whether or not she had any ounce. Imagine three people claiming that Mary had 2, 3, and 4 ounces, respectively. None of these claims conflict with the Quran, and yet at least two of them are wrong. If a historian were to argue on historical grounds that Mary had 2 ounces, there would be no Islamic grounds to oppose him or her. Many false claims about historical figures are not in contradiction with the Quran. The next example is about natural sciences. Imagine two people, one claiming that the moon is bigger than the sun and the other claiming the opposite. Which of these two claims conflicts with Islamic faith? Neither of them. because the Quran does not contain information on the sizes of the sun and the moon. Hence, although the claim that the moon is larger than the sun has been scientifically discredited, it does not contradict with Islam. I try to show that the situation is the same in discussions of the theory of evolution. No matter how many aunts are attributed to Mary, one could say she had thousands of aunts for that matter, and no matter what comparison is made between the masses of the sun and the moon, contradiction with the Quran is out of the question. Likewise, no claim on the emergence of life forms and humans can contradict Islam, even though the Quran clearly mentions that all species of life, including humans, are created by God. It does not reveal how this was carried out. As a consequence, my claim that a Muslim can be an evolutionist cannot be converted into a Muslim must be an evolutionist. Alternately, my claim that evolution is compatible with the Quran cannot be converted into the Quran implies evolution. The Quran does not imply evolution because it teaches nothing about how God created species, which is precisely why the Quran is compatible with evolution. Some religious people say that since atheists exploit the theory of evolution against faith, evolution should be rejected in defense of the faith. We should make the following point clear. If Muslims, in the name of Islam, had not erroneously insisted that Islam opposed evolution, atheists would not have had the opportunity to attack Islam on the basis of evolution. Those who wrongly state that acceptance of God requires rejection of evolution are essentially responsible for paving the way for such atheistic objection. Muslims simply need not disagree with atheists on their beliefs in the structure of elements in the periodic table, the composition of magma, and the roundness of the earth. These phenomena are all creations of God. He is the creator of life, as well as the elements, the magma, and the earth. It is un-Islamic to proclaim on these phenomena by first determining what atheists believe and choosing the opposite. Muslims should shape their opinions according to the Quran, not according to their opponents. For example, no Muslim can feel enmity against Jesus just because Christians attribute divinity to him. No Muslim would dislike the sun due to its divinity in Shintoism. I observe double injustice on this subject. By claiming that evolution implies atheism, atheists not only make a false claim, they exploit the theory in favor of their philosophies, thereby harming the objective evaluation of scientific approaches. The theory of evolution is about the field of biology and describes the formation of living species. Whether or not they are also products of God's design does not fall within the domain of biology. Secondly, claims that a Muslim must reject the theory of evolution likewise hinder the objective evaluation of this theory by Muslims, creating unnecessary friction between science and religion. Understanding the falsity of rejecting evolution on Islamic grounds clears up misconceptions and seizes these injustices.